Now the boys, what's going on? This is Yorkie here and welcome back to another episode of this FIFA 23 Blackburn Rovers career mode and our first season in the Premiership. Now last time out, we did a lot of transfers. No understatement about that. But when you're a new Premiership club, you gotta make a lot of deals. Look at Nottingham Forest. They signed about 25 players. We're not gonna go that far, but we are gonna continue with the transfers in this episode. There's still a long way of this window to go. Again, I'm continuously scouting your suggestions. Keep getting them in, whether we sign them this window, next window, and future windows. It's always good to have a stacked shortlist. This is the business we've done so far. Amad Diallo was the big transfer for 27 million. Of course, we had him last year. And this is a big gamble for Amad Diallo to come to Blackburn this season, but we have seen these kind of transfers happen before. Don't believe he'd get in the Man United squad, and I think he would have at least a season here at Blackburn, maybe move on. We signed Matt Turner, the backup goalkeeper for Arsenal. It wasn't a ridiculous deal, 13 million. He's brilliant. He had a very good start to the season as well. Adrian came in. Look, he's back up. He was free. He's back up. Probably not needed, but I thought it made sense to have some experience at the club. I really do wish there was mentoring in this. I just do. Alfred Duncan as well, another veteran. You'll see a theme. We have signed some older players. It's the first season in the Premiership. You've got to do these kind of deals. I'm not just going to go for wonder kids. I think it's good to use veteran players. I think it adds that spice to the story as well, because these are the kind of players that you'd need around the club. Felix Mecha as well for a freebie. This guy is going to be unreal. I think this is going to be such a great deal for us in the long term. Now, there's still tons to do in the window. We've only got one right back. The bonus that we have right now is Reggie Cannon can play right back as well. And I wouldn't say we're strong at left back. I need to make Leo happier or else he won't grow. It's as simple as that. And hopefully we're giving him a bit more playtime and making him happier. He'll grow a lot better. Apart from that, we've got a pretty good squad. As you can see, we've got 42 players, but we've got a lot of the young players out on loan. And I'm not sure how much we will be stretched this season. That Jason Knight injury, though, is a little bit crushing. 3 months will definitely hamper his growth. I can't wait to have him back. We also have Alfie Devine out on loan, so hopefully he'll grow really well. We do have an issue, though, with John Buckley. He's not happy at the club. We're 50-50 on whether to use him or not because he just didn't do that well. Now we've brought in Mecha. We're kind of prioritising him, and I want to get Eskil Rudd the game time because at 17 he's just going to keep growing. I need to make the decision as quickly as possible whether we use John Buckley or we let him go because at this point he's an unhappy player and I don't like keeping them around. And we are still yet to score a goal in the Premiership. But I feel really harsh not having faith in Tyrese Campbell and Callum Grant. Now, you'll notice there is a lot of players morale-wise that are quite unhappy. It's because they all want new contracts because we've been promoted. But with the current budget we have, I'm not just going to chuck money at new contracts for no reason. So there's definitely some big decisions to be made in this episode. And at this stage, we could still lose some of our big players to some big transfers if they come in. Mentioned in the last episode, I wouldn't mind a cup run this time out. So we are going to play the EFL Cup. It's going to give us the opportunity to get some sharpness into some of these players and also score a goal this season because we haven't scored one yet and I would love to. Fleetwood, to be fair, should not be a difficult task as Eskil Rudd there wins the ball back and he plays it into Tyrese Campbell straight away and that maybe should have been 1-0. Actually, I haven't decided yet who my starting striker is this season, so a goal here for Tyrese Campbell could definitely put him in favour. Cowell has not had a good start, although that's great footwork from him and not a bad shot. If Rudd can get to that, Tyrese Campbell will hold that down. He turns. Can he shoot? He can. He scores. Tyrese Campbell makes it 1-0 in the cup. He's fighting for the starting spot, and that's a good way to stake your claim. Well, mistake made here. Cowell will surely be unselfish and Tyrese Campbell will make it 2. And I mean, Fleetwood have fallen apart. It's nothing more than you'd expect from us against this level of opposition. Really good work from Cowell to win the ball back here, though. Look at that. Steals it away and unselfishly puts Campbell in. Cowell now linking up with Rudd. Rudd waited. And he's going to find a Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo, since signing, hasn't scored. And he'll still wait for his first goal. Aimer there, trying to play in Diallo. Second opportunity. He didn't have to wait too long for his first goal. 3-0 Blackburn. And that should be this game done and dusted. We jumped to the sim after that Diallo goal. And we ended up winning 4-1 on the sim. We're going to be taking on Burnley, our rivals. We are set up for a rival game in round 3. We still have Chelsea to come up next in the Premier League. But I want to make a sign-in. I think the signing we're going to go in for is actually Rico Lewis. It's going to be a loan signing for this season because I think Manchester City would like to see him go out on loan but probably wouldn't want to sell him at this point. And then after a year established in the Premier League, maybe that's when we try and sign him. I'm going to go basic terms. I don't feel like they'd agree a deal with a transfer fee at this current moment in time. We need this right back because we are struggling. It's not going to be that much wages. They're going to agree to a 50-50 split. Hopefully, we'll find out in a couple of days that Rico Lewis is joining Blackburn. Next up, though, before we can find out about that loan deal, we take on Chelsea. Chelsea, and I've always struggled with them in the past defensively. It already looks like teams have made smarter transfers this time round. Chelsea could be an extremely difficult tie. Obviously, Grant comes back in up top. Tyrese Campbell's knackered. Anyone who played in that cup game basically is knackered. Reggie Cannon's our right back. Levi Colwill, of course, playing against his old side in this one. Never really got a look at Chelsea. He's been fantastic in this Blackburn team. Hopefully, he can defend well in this one. I love these massive Premier League games when you're just a wild underdog. Like, genuinely, we have no right winning this game of football. This would be 2 defeats and 1 draw. If we could take a draw from this game, that would be fantastic. But who knows what's going to happen. We do have some really good quality, though, so you never know. Felix Mecha just looks super dangerous every time he's on the pitch. Is that Duncan's ball? It's going to be blocked by James. Chilwell is going to play in Romelu Lukaku. And just like that, Chelsea are through. But he doesn't really have any help. And I missed that tackle. And this is dangerous. Well in Reggie Cannon. He is so quick. This into Grant, into Mecha. Alfred Duncan there, trying to wait on Tyrese Dolan. He's going to have a lot of physicality around him, but he's done really well. Pull that one back to Reggie Cannon, who will whip it in towards Reece Nelson. He's surely clattered. He stayed down and looks injured. How is that not a penalty? Such a ridiculous call. He's all over him. That is a penalty in a million years, honestly. Night and day a pen, and now here come Chelsea. And if he plays that ball, Pulisic's offside and Colwill blocks it perfectly. Kai Havertz there now kicking my player near enough in the head. We're getting a little bit unlucky, although they get unlucky there with that pass, but Travis can't get it forward, and it is all Chelsea at the minute. Go Chelsea again. Hakim Ziyech now. Oh, he plays it across perfectly. Kai Havertz will make it 1-0 Chelsea. Reece Nelson now is going to have to come off, and my thought process is Tyrese Dolan to the left. He can play there, and then Reece Nelson will come off, and we're going to play Andreasen. So a big substitution now, and I'm hoping the injury isn't long to Reece Nelson. Andreasen, though, an academy guy. Hey, it's an opportunity. You're against Chelsea. This is kind of a free hit. Who knows what's going to happen? Here comes Chelsea again now with Reece James. Just too quick for Wharton. Way too quick for Wharton. Lukaku, don't let him get it back across. Well in Colwill. He's defending very well in this game. Well, 1 half done. We've only conceded 1, and we've had the same amount of shots as Chelsea. So, hey, I'll take that as a win. I'm not looking at this match and expecting much from it. This is not how we should judge our season. Liverpool and Chelsea, those kind of games, definitely not how we should judge our season. I'd just really like us to get our first Premier League goal. Lukaku there with several step overs. Not really his strong point. Colwill has defended so well in this match. And is that perfect? Because now we have space. Tyrese Dolan played that on the inside to Callum Grant. Callum Grant didn't have the help he needed, although we might have the ball over there. That's great from Andreasen. Felix Mecha has always looked like he's probably going to be the first Blackburn player to score, but he doesn't quite find it. He didn't catch it sweet enough. Right start to the second half, though, for Blackburn, and this is dangerous. This is very dangerous because Wharton is not quick, but he gets over and stops Havertz. That's brilliant. Going to be a triple sub. They just brought on Locatelli, and this is quite not Locatelli, but Jens Dahl, John Buckley, and Gustavo Hamer coming on for Blackburn. We've had a breakthrough. We've been the better side, to be fair, this second half. Jens Dahl has shown glimpses when he's come on. He's only 16, though, so let's not expect too much from the youngster. But we're about to hear the full-time whistle at home in a valiant effort against Chelsea. They didn't look like a dominating side. They didn't look great against us, but we also just didn't do enough. We're still yet to find the Premier League goal in this side, and it's pretty frustrating. Felix Mecha probably should have scored. With the money we have left, it's not like we could just go out and sign a top-level striker. On deadline day, I'm hoping this loan's going to go through. We've got a Cowell transfer from Athletic Club. I'm going to disagree with that one because that would actually completely go against their club rules. Unless Cowell is some kind of hidden Basque player, which we never knew about, goes against the rules. But here we go. Rico Lewis is in. We've managed to get ourselves the right back we needed. There is still some scout reports to come back as well, so just bear that in mind. We're still waiting on some scout reports to come back. We're not going to get them now, but we do need some money for January. I'm looking at loaning out Hagen as well as Bidstrup. I think a 1-year loan to Ajax for Bidstrup is perfect for us. Come back and take Duncan's place next season. We do have 11 million left, and I'm going to keep Buckley for this window, and then potentially we'll see what we want to do after that. Now, I do need to go through and rescout a lot of these players again, but we kind of know how good most of them are. Dean Scarlett was suggested, but he's gone to PSG, so he's completely out the window, but we're still scouting him. You never know. Apart from that, it's very difficult to pick out who would make sense. Now, Taiwo Awoniyi might be perfect for us, to be honest. They also have Emmanuel Dennis, so you have that trade-off that they only play one up top. Would make sense that we would be able to get one of these. Now, Taiwo is the better player, so Emmanuel Dennis may be the player you go for. But again, we just don't quite have the money. We've strengthened in positions we felt were smart, but it hasn't left me with much cash. Rangers signed Mohamed Ihan. Oh my God. And at this point, I'm struggling to see really if there's any other deals we can make, which is really frustrating because I think we fall a little bit flat at the back end of this window. Though we do have a new signing in this episode, thanks to Man City and us getting Rico Lewis. It's a little bit worrying, but we're going to see what happens. The Premiership should be a struggle in Season 1. Can't just hold our breath, though, because some of our players could still be snapped up. Declan Rice there, rumoured to go to Newcastle. That would be mad. But mainly, all we're getting here is the loan deals that we kind of want to move players out on loan to be better next season. I think a lot of this year now, as Mads leaves the club, will be pinned on where we are at when it comes to January. So if we are in the relegation zone, which can happen. Hey, if we get relegated, it is what it is. I want this save to be fun and fairly realistic. So if we get relegated, we get relegated. But then we'd have to let players like Travis go. So that would be big money. We've got a transfer bid here for Britain. It's a terrible transfer bid. Is it not even a player swap? Callum Britton is our starting right back. I really don't think, although Lazio is a big club, that we'd let him go for that. Not on deadline day either. We do have some power when big teams come in for players. Late transfer bid for Leo. I mean, he's going nowhere. He's 21. He's a project of ours. We're going to put time into him this season and hopefully he'll improve. So as we've reached the last hour of deadline day, it's been a little bit of a dud. I am going to just quickly see some of the biggest deals around the world. The biggest one was Gabby Jesus to Barcelona, Sule to Chelsea, who we played it then. Their defense was fantastic. Declan Rice ended up at Liverpool, not Newcastle. Marias left Newcastle, so I'm guessing that's why they wanted Declan Rice. And then, I mean, there's been some major transfers. Imagine Feyenoord making that kind of money. Fernandez actually going to Roma in this one instead of Chelsea. We got Bremer at Spurs. I don't think that's a bad sign. It's an expensive one. Some of the transfer deals are super inflated. Kevin De Bruyne to Atletico Madrid. That is absolutely insane. Milinkovic-Savic to Liverpool. This is one I've said could happen in real life and should maybe happen in real life. He'd be very helpful for Liverpool, considering where their midfield is at right now. But yeah, there's been a lot of big deals. Newcastle, though, look to have got a hell of a lot weaker as Marcus Rashford went to Lyon and then to Arsenal. That is insane. There we go, boys. That was our first transfer window as a Premiership team. I think it was a good window. We signed pieces that we needed, but we still need a lot more in this team. It's not going to be built overnight. And we still have a stacked youth squad and a load of youth players in the starting 11. So we want to see how they progress as well this season. They choose to keep Kaminsky as well in the end. Maybe sell him next season, but I think we need a strong backup goalkeeper for this year. And I think Thomas Kaminsky is that man. After a 2-week international break, we have an opportunity to grab ourselves our first victory in the Premier League and our first goal. And I'm going with Tyrese Campbell. I think out of the two strikers at this moment in time, I have more faith that he will get the goal. Nelson's back in the team, and I'm giving the centre mid position today to Gustavo Hamer because he really impressed me in that Chelsea match. This is a strong Wolves side. They've improved it. It's a very strong Wolves side. They've signed Lamela, though, which is an interesting one. Let's see how we get on. If we're going to win one at Molineux is probably the kind of team we could be. We actually do need to win this one as well because it's Man City after this. So we're not going to win the Man City game. Let's all be honest with ourselves. We're not going to win that one. So if we're going to win a game in this episode, although we might do an extra one after Man City, if we are going to win a game in this episode, this is the one. I'm going to use that overlap. I'm going to use it. I'm going to pull it back, actually, to Tyrese. No, I'm not. Tyrese Campbell is the man I'm going to pull it back to, and he miskicks it. Reece Nelson in the end. I lied to all of you. Reece Nelson miskicks it. Moving that forward. Oh, he's done brilliantly. Hang. Oh, he's got great footwork, hasn't he? What a save, Turner. Thanks, Metcha. Gustavo Hamer. Tyrese Dolan. They fear his dribbling ability. Go on, then. Tyrese. Oh, you've got to get that ball in. Alan Britton failing to put that ball in is so frustrating. Are we going to win it back? We are. Tyrese Dolan into Metcha. Tyrese Campbell, I said, would get our first Premier League goal. He is going to. He didn't strike it cleanly, but Jose Sa can't save it. And Tyrese Campbell gets the first Blackburn Rovers Premier League goal since being back in the Premiership for so long. We've been out of it. And here we go. 1-0 Blackburn. I feel like we're defending so well. We win the ball back perfectly. I think that's Gustavo Hamer. That's why he started. Then we get a bit lucky. I'm going to take these all day long. I am euphoric about the fact that that hit the back of the net. We have the lead. It's a slender one. It's 1 goal in 2 matches. I mean, he scored against Fleetwood. That's why we chose him today ahead of Callum Grant. And he's kind of proven to be the poacher there. I don't expect we'll be a high-scoring side this season. It's looking like we're not going to be anyway. But at least we need to win a few games at the start of this year for us to even have hope that we will be a Premiership side next season. Gustavo Hamer and Travis are going to have to be workhorses if we're going to keep this 1-0 and hopefully even maybe 2-0. I want to speak too soon though. Do not want to speak too soon because Wolves, knowing my luck, will now go on and score. This is the play I don't want to see from them. And Reggie Cannon, they're defending brilliantly. I'll tell you one thing this season. We may not look brilliant, but our defending has looked fantastic. Reece Nelson now. Well, he wants Tyrese Campbell to make a bit of a better run. And he's going to get that run from Tyrese Campbell. But Antonio is there to block it. And the big issue with Tyrese is probably his stamina. It's half-time here at Molineux and Blackburn have the lead. Ball's there with Nunez. Good turn. He's a brilliant player, isn't he? Oh, I thought Travis had blocked it. He's going to go for the shot. Oh, my God, just over the bar. Eric Lamela coming off, Adama coming on. So more pace and power. We're going to make a sub as well. Tyrese Campbell comes off, the goal scorer. I mean, he's knackered. And we're going to bring on Callum Grant. I'm also going to tell Mecha to get into the box for crosses. And I think that might do enough. Do have him stick into position. Maybe that's stopping him getting forward. I don't see a reason why it would do. Maybe tell him to stay forward. And that'll stop him coming back on defense. That's what we're going to try and see if we can get him involved a bit more. Because I really struggled to link him up in the last couple of games. We've defended valiantly so far, so it would be really frustrating now for us to concede. But Adama is coming onto the pitch and making life difficult. Reggie Cannon, I thought he'd done enough. Matt Turner. Oh, my God. Colwell can clear it. He'll burst forward, and he'll hold, and he'll play it into Callum Grant, who heads it just over the bar. And maybe he should have been 2. On comes John Buckley for Felix Mecha. Mecha's had a great start to the season, but not particularly look good in this one. That's a Gustavo Hamer. They're going to find Buckley. Buckley, this time he does find the pass. Callum Grant for his first Premier League goal will find the back of the net. And there we go, boys. That's both strikers now with a goal in the Premier League. It's 2-0. It's the cushion we need. We should be getting our first 3 points today. There is the full-time whistle, and that makes our strikers viable. We were right to stick with them. It's going to be Tyrese Campbell and Grant with the goals. Fantastic performance. Again, I feel like we're defending so well this season. That has to be the most important thing to take away from this. How well we are defending right now. Well, you can defend as well as you like against everybody else, but when you come up against Erling Haaland and Manchester City, they've signed Edwards in this one. Muller as well in the centre of the park. That's a strong back line. When you come up against these boys, doesn't matter how well you're defending. This could easily be where we slip up. It's a very similar starting 11. Amad Diallo starts on the right in this one, though. Dolan a little bit tired and just need to see a little bit more from him. We've got to keep him honest. I'm going to stick with Tyrese Campbell up top, and Felix Mecha, he's keeping his place for now. I said 3 goals in 3 games at the start of this one. Now, we are at home, so this would be a massive moment for Blackburn. Manchester City coming to the home ground. I think it's Ewood Park, right? This would be a huge game for Blackburn, and it's going to be a huge game for us in this series because, I mean, imagine if we took anything from this. A point, I would take it. I felt like we were unlucky not to get a point against Chelsea, to be honest with you. Straight after this one, though, we do have the derby in the cup. We take on Burnley. I'm tempted, considering the transfer window wasn't as busy as I expected, to play that one and actually add that one to the episode as well. A little bit of a bonus game. We usually only do 4 matches. Let's do an extra one. Did they just make a mistake and I didn't capitalise? That's infuriating. Do not let him get by. Edwards. Colwell is proving to be one of the greatest defenders in the world right now. Felix Mecha is begging Tyrese Campbell to make the run. And if Tyrese Campbell can get that... Oh, Ruben Diaz is just... He's just too good, isn't he? Oh, they've made a mistake. Amad Diallo. He won't make a mistake. Tyrese Campbell. Oh, he's gone behind the post. Thought this was the moment for Tyrese, but he's just hit it too square on. So far, defensively, he looked just as good as Muller tries to do some trickery there. Does not beat Amad Diallo. His pace may be important in this one. I stuck with Gustavo Hamer. He's really at my favour. Phillips into Haaland. Haaland can score from any position. That was great help defence from Callum Britton. They're going to get a whip a corner in. They're going to get to whip a corner in. And Erling Haaland up against Gustavo Hamer does not... Gets it. Oh, my God. There's no one there in Britain. Clears it off the line. Ruben Diaz now. Out wide to Erling Haaland. Get off the football, Erling. We're not going to bully him here, are we? Let's be honest. But Pickering wins it back. Go on, Pickering. Nelson. No, Nelson. You had to play it quicker. No, Nelson. Save it, Turner. He can't. Sambo scores. Who even is Sambo? And oh, my God, that's such a sloppy goal. Number 5. So it's a defender. And of all the ways for this to go, it's Reece Nelson losing the ball and just putting us in no man's land. And to be honest with you, Turner's got to do a bit better there. Play it back across to Nelson. I can. Felix Mecha got space. Felix Mecha for his first goal. Felix Mecha for his first goal. Just like that, it's 1-1. That's what we do. Reece Nelson with a fantastic pass. And Felix Mecha will get our 3rd ever Premier League goal. And it's a good one. And he gets his first goal here at Blackburn. Against his old club. Probably shouldn't have celebrated. But I mean, he was only in the academy there. Do we not think he'd celebrate during his professional career against Man City? Oh, Colwell loses out now to Erling Haaland, who is chomping at the bit. And oh my God, it's gone crazy out of nowhere. Erling Haaland makes it 2-1. We didn't react quick enough. Erling Haaland is a little bit of a beast. And there we go. This is the problem. He wins it, but he just can't get it out of his feet. And Erling Haaland is straight on him. Hungry for goals this season, of course, Erling. And there we go. Just like that, we fought our way back into the game with another goal. And Man City punish us. Can't give them space. Can't give Erling Haaland space. Oh my. They're just back-to-back goals at this moment in time. Erling Haaland has proper punished us. If we ever thought we had a fighting chance in this match, that's disappeared. Half-time then. It's going to be Man City 3, Blackburn Rovers 1. And I mean, we've scored a goal. Again, a second goal now. Sorry, a third goal in the Premiership. But it don't really matter, does it? Man City are battering me. All I want from this second half now then is just us to keep fighting valiantly. Because I feel like, considering we're playing against Man City, minus the fact they have the best talent in the world, we've not looked that bad. Causing me all kinds of issues. Bernardo, I thought I'd cut him off. I didn't. Don't let Rodgers get this forward. We do. Joe Cancelo, please stop. Rodgers, well held Turner into Diallo. Diallo wants the runner. He's going to have it. Diallo. He's going to be Britain with a shot. You don't want Britain in that position. Well, you'll never bloody believe it, but they're bringing on the other Metcha. So the Metcha brothers are playing a Premier League game against each other. And with Gustavo Heyman, we're going to whip this in. Callum Grant has now come on for us. Oh, that wasn't terrible. Yeah, Callum Grant now on the pitch for us. See how he gets on. Gustavo, again, though, having a fantastic game. Mad Diallo. Oh, that's great. Reverse into Callum. Can't get a good shot off. He would have been onside as well. Edwards now. Bags of pace. Don't let him get it across. Well in Pickering. We've defended really well. I know we've conceded several. There is one thing that can't be said at the end of this one, and it's that we didn't put in the effort because we have fought like mad in this match. Erling Haaland pulls it across. Colwell took that into Turner. Here comes Muller straight into Erling Haaland on a hat-trick. And Erling Haaland will have his hat-trick. I thought he was offside. We've huffed and we puffed. And we are absolutely knackered at this point. And Man City are going to beat us 4-1. Feel so sorry for us as well with the way that second half went. Because we really did try and pull it together. We had a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities. And even though we conceded 4, we did defend really well in patches. But that man is just really hard to stop. We do find ourselves, though, 16th in the Premier League, which is where we were at the start of this episode. But we are now joint on points with Fulham, who are in the drop zone. So that is worrying. Now, we started this episode in the Carabao Cup, so we're going to finish it. We're going to go to Turf Moor against Burnley, who are Ben Brereton Diaz. This is a big rivals game. And, of course, we're going to be welcoming Brereton Diaz back here to play against him, which should be exciting. Buckley gets the opportunity to start, and apart from that, it's very rotated. Rico Lewis will have his first start for the club as well, but Callum Grant is up top, so it's a strong strike for. I do love a good derby day here at Turf Moor, under the lights. Honestly, I really want us to do well in the Cup this year. We might get knocked out, but still, I want us to do well in the Cup, because why not? I'd love a little cup run and just stay in the Premier League, get some money for next season. We might have to move on one or two of the bigger boys to try and kind of finance this team, because at the moment it's half decent, right? It's half decent. It's not what we're used to playing with, because we do a lot of big team saves on the channel, don't we? So doing a smaller side like Blackburn and having to build it up is a lot of fun. I'm not going to lie. I'm really loving this career mode. I hope you guys are. So at this point of the video, if you are still here, make sure to smash that like button, as well as smashing the subscribe button if you haven't already. Now, that man who's about to pass the football, Ben Brereton Diaz, we are going to go in very hard on the tackles, because this is a derby game and we don't like him right now. Maybe one day he will come back to Blackburn and he will be forgiven. But for right now, he is not. And we've rotated still for this because we need to. It's good that we win the ball back here. We need to be rotating and we need to give these boys the opportunities. But Leo there is not making me happy. And I have gone with Gustavo in this one because I just think he's an absolute beast in the centre of the park at the minute. And his stamina is unbelievable. But Burnley here from the off rattle the crossbar and look very good. Bastine. I mean, he's quick. He's going to pull it back. He's not. We're not going to let him near post. Can't concede at the near post, Kaminsky. Cannot concede that at the near post. Brownhill with the goal, and so far, Burnley have been absolutely all over me. And it's through the legs. It's unlucky defending for Rico, but just Kaminsky. You genuinely cannot concede that. Rico Lewis there, linking up well with Duncan, and then as well with Doland. And Doland tries to loft it into Callum Grant. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my wow. That is a way to get back into a game. Callum Grant with a spectacular. I really do believe in this strike force this season, boys. You might think I was stupid for not even looking at changing the strikers going into a Premier League season, but I believe in them. And it's starting to pay dividends. Look at this ball in from Dolan. But look at this. He just peels off the defender. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Buckley's actually making a run. Leo bends it over. Buckley can get his header on it. But this time, the number 6 for them at the back. Actually doing a little bit better with his defensive duties. Brereton Diaz there on the ball for a brief moment. He hasn't really seen it much. And that's great defending from Leo now. We're actually starting to put stuff together. But Leo, you have to learn how to pass, mate, because that... Oh, Kaminsky! Oh, Ben Brereton Diaz blazes it wide. That's why we got rid of him. At least that's what I'm going to say. Oh, this time tries to float it up again to Callum Grant, and we're just not finding him at this current moment in time. Oh, that was dangerous. Duncan! Oh, he saved Callum! Oh, he saved... He's blocked, sorry, off the line. And that was a moment. They make a mistake at the back. We kind of pounced on it, and oh, so unlucky. Try and get Dolan running forward if Rico can find that pass. Buckley, keep making the run. Buckley, good position, Buckley. Ah, it was a hard shot. He is out of sharpness. We're trying to get him back into the team because we did love him before, and I want to love him again. I'm going to bring him off now, though, for Eskil Rudd. I know I've just said I love him, but he's a little bit tired, and I want Rudd to get game time. Good footwork, actually, from Rudd there. He's pretty much out of sharpness as well. And then Rudd's going to play a beautiful ball inside to Callum Grant. That's a great ball. Callum Grant, surely. Oh, my God, he's put it beyond the post. Passing right now from Burnley is top notch, I'm not going to lie. They are opening up space all over the shot. Great save, Kaminsky. Just pray that they do nothing from this corner and we can actually break away. Ben Brereton Diaz, they did actually do nothing. And Cowell can break away. He is extremely quick, lads. Cowell now on the run. He's going to break away straight from the corner. Cowell now on the run. Surely, Cowell. Oh, he's hit the cross. He's hit the crossbar. Can you believe it? Cowell, win it. I can't believe he's just hit the crossbar. That was a great breakaway from him. That's one of his key points, is how quick he is, and he's hit the crossbar, though. Really don't want penalties in this one, as Ben Brereton Diaz links it well, and we're not going to get penalties, are we? Because Egan Riley here is going to hit the post himself, so both sides now hitting the post. Duncan lost that one over to Cowell. He's going to play that one into Jens Dahl. Jens Dahl held it up. Cowell is going to go clean through again. Cowell is going to go clean through again, and surely this time Cowell does score it, and I can't believe it because this is the right way to win a derby game. It's right at the end of the match, and Cowell goes clean through, and that's finally what we needed to see from him this entire time, to be honest with you. He's finally doing it. The Burnley players collapse to the floor, and here at Turf Moor, we tear the house down. Cowell here, making it 2-1. They have 30 seconds left. Nothing's going to happen. What a finish. That does book our place into the next round. Who comes next? Who knows? But that is a great start to our cup run. We actually scored some games in this episode as well, which is great news. And the transfer window was done. We're now going to start pushing through. I feel like maybe we could do 5 games a little bit more often. I'll just see how long this video ends up. We've got some tough games still coming up, Tottenham and whatnot, but if we could beat sides like Everton and stuff like that, we should be all right. I was really happy with that Molineux game, and I believe the squad is good enough. I genuinely think the squad is good enough to survive. Let me know down below if you think we will survive this season or not. That's it for me. I've enjoyed this one. I will see you for the next one, lads.